Hi guys, greetings of the day. Myself Raghavendra. Today we are going with design of spur and helical gear, 8th part. In the previous part, we went through helical gears, double helical gear, and herringbone gear. Now for this part, we'll start with helical gear forces. The resultant force, this F, it is resolved into three components, that is Ft, Fr, and Fa. Ft is tangential force, Fr is separating force, or it is also called as radial force. Fa is axial or thrust force. F is a resultant force, beta is helix angle, alpha n is normal pressure angle. It is also called as pressure angle measured in a plane perpendicular to tooth. Mt is torque on the gear. Small r will be the pitch circle radius, and alpha t is pressure angle measured perpendicular to the axis of the gear. Now by considering this triangle ABC, so from this triangle we can write the equation for sine alpha n and cos alpha n. No? So by considering triangle ABC, from triangle ABC, sine alpha n is equals to sine alpha n is equals to Fr by F. So it is Fr divided by F. So from this one, Fr is equals to F into sine alpha n. Call this as equation number 1. Similarly, cos alpha n is equals to, so cos alpha n is equals to BC divided by F. So it is BC divided by F. From this one, BC is equals to F into cos alpha n. Call this as equation number 2. Similarly, from triangle BDC, that is this one, from triangle BDC, cos beta is equals to Ft by BC. Cos beta is equals to Ft by BC. Cos beta is equals to Ft by BC. So we know the value of BC, that is F into cos alpha n, which is equals to Ft divided by F into cos alpha n. So from this one, we can get the value of Ft, which is equals to F into cos alpha n into cos beta. Call this as equation number 3. Similarly, sin beta is equals to Fa divided by BC. Fa divided by BC. So Fa divided by BC. We know BC, that is F into cos alpha n, which is equals to Fa divided by F into cos alpha n. So from this one, we can write the equation as Fa is equals to F into cos alpha n into sin beta. Call this as equation number 4. Now, equation 4 divided by equation 3. So, equation 4 divided by equation 3. It will give us equation 4 is Fa divided by equation 3 is Ft, which is equals to Fa is f into cos alpha n into sin beta divided by f into cos alpha n into cos beta. So here f cos alpha n will get cancelled. Sin by cos is tan, so tan beta. So from this one we can get the axial force. Therefore axial force Fa is equals to Ft into tan beta. Call this as equation number 5. Similarly, equation 1 divided by equation 3. So equation 1 is Fr. So Fr divided by 3 is Fa. Ft. F3 is Ft, which is equals to, equation 1 is Fr is equals to F sin alpha n divided by Ft is F cos alpha n into cos beta. So here F and F will get cancelled. Sin alpha n divided by cos alpha n will be the tan alpha n. So which is equals to tan alpha n divided by cos beta. So from this we will get Fr, that is radial force. Fr is equals to Ft into tan alpha n divided by cos beta. Call this as equation number 6. So like this we will get the values of Fr, Fa and Ft we can get from equation number 3. That is F into cos alpha n into cos beta. So here the direction of the thrust or axial force or component depends upon the hand of the helix, either it may be right hand helix or left hand helix, and the direction of rotation of the gear under consideration. So we have to follow the points while determining the direction of thrust component. First, select the driving gear. Use right hand for RH helix, that is right hand helix, and left hand for LH helix. Keep the fingers in the direction of rotation of the driver gear, and the thumb will indicate the direction of the thrust component for the driving gear. The direction of the thrust component for the driven gear is opposite to that of the driver gear. This is about the helical gear forces. Next topic, virtual or formative or equivalent number of teeth. So the number of teeth of the equivalents per gear in the normal plane is known as formative or equivalent or virtual number of teeth. Then how to find out that one? So here the pitch cylinder of the helical gear is cut by a plane AA, which is normal to the tooth element. So normal is nothing but perpendicular to the tooth element. The intersection of the plane AA and the pitch cylinder produces an ellipse. For this ellipse, the semi-major axis is d by 2 cos beta, whereas semi-minor axis is d by 2 respectively. And we can prove that from analytical geometry that the radius of curvature RC, that is from this point to here RC, at point B is this one, is given by, so it will be for virtual or formative or equivalent number of teeth, So radius of curvature RC, that is from this point to point B at this point, at point B, it can be given as RC is equals to A square divided by B. Here A and B are the semi-major and semi-minor axes respectively. So we know that is semi-major axis is d by 2 cos beta and semi-minor axis is d by 2. Substituting these two values, so it is d by 2 cos beta whole square A square divided by B is d by 2. So d by 2. So one of the d by 2 will get cancelled. So we will get RC as d by 2 cos square beta. This is the value of RC. So in the design of helical gears, an imaginary spur gear is considered in plane AA with a pitch circle radius of RC, whatever we calculated, and module M suffix small n. So it is called as formative or virtual spur gear. That type of gear it is called as formative or virtual spur gear. The pitch circle diameter DC of the virtual gear is given as, so RC is this one, so DC is equals to d by cos square beta. So the number of teeth ZV, Z suffix V on the imaginary spur gear are the virtual number of teeth. It is given by, that is Z suffix V is equals to 2 pi RC divided by Pn, which is equals to 2 pi into RC is this one, that is d by 2 cos square beta divided by pi n is, Pn is nothing but pi into Mn. So here pi will get cancelled and this 2 will get cancelled. So we are left with d divided by Mn cos square beta. So here d can be written as Mn into Z divided by cos beta. This is the value of d into 1 divided by cos square beta. So from this one we can get the value of ZV, that is the formative number of teeth. Therefore ZV is equals to formative number of teeth. ZV is equals to Mn into Z divided by cos cube beta. So this is the equation for formative number of teeth, where Z is the actual number of teeth and beta will be the helix angle. So this value we have to substitute in Lewis form factor. So instead of using actual number of teeth in helical gear, we are using formative number of teeth to determine the Lewis form factor. So Lewis form factor, it will change to y is equals to 0.124 minus 0.684 divided by ZV. This is for 14.5 degree involute. We have this one in the data handbook, that is equation number 23.115. And if you go to this one, you don't have with respect to ZV, you have with respect to Z, but it is for helical gear, we are using ZV instead of Z. Similarly, y is equals to 0.154 minus 0.912 divided by ZV. It is for 20 degree full depth. Equation number is 23.116. And similarly for 20 degree stub, y is equals to 0.17 minus 0.95 divided by ZV. This is for 20 degree stub. This equation we have 23.117. So we have to use the formative number of teeth to determine the Lewis form factor instead of actual number of teeth. So for this part, this much. Remaining topics we will see in the next part. Thank you. Please subscribe my channel.